Okay, welcome to Empower Elite's team call for August 23rd. I don't want to waste a ton of time going over anything because I can do announcements in the team page later on. I want to make sure Kathi has a ton of time and open it up to questions at the end if you have them for her. But first, I want to make sure, does anybody have any recognition that they want to shout out before we get started this week?
I do.
Hey.
Hi. Hi, I miss you.
Here.
I want to shout out Mary Page. She hit Emerald 2 weeks ago, but we didn't do rank advancements last week, so I wanted to shout her out this week.
I was missing. Congrats, Mary Page.
Yeah, I'm done here. I'm not sure, but
okay. I don't see her. We're celebrating anyways. Maybe her ears will ring. Does anybody else have recognition tonight? No. Okay. I have one, and I don't see her on, actually. But Laura Gallup achieved Diamond in her second business center, which is absolutely huge. It is absolutely incredible to see Laura. I don't know if you guys saw on the team page, but she dove into the business right at the end of her first challenge group and hit Diamond in under a month, which was huge. But now she has not only done that in her first business center, but also her second. So huge congratulations to Laura on your leadership and your growth and your commitment to our mission as coaches. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys before we get started is that the All Access Challenge Pack sale for 160 has been extended through September as we know it. So make sure that you're aware of that and continue to share that with people. And then I'm going to make some announcements in the team page about our upcoming sneak peek, and I will also be announcing qualifications for this year's second annual leadership retreat. So super excited to share about that with you guys. Now, I just wanted to welcome Aspire Nation. We have some of you on tonight, and Team Stronger Every Day too, because I didn't at the beginning, but welcome to everybody that hopped on tonight. So let me introduce our guest speaker tonight. We have Kathi. Kathi, I always say your name wrong. I feel like I always say Reuter. But
Are you serious, Dana?
I am.
No, it's Reuter.
I've been saying Reuter forever. Reuter, Kathi Reuter.
It looks like Reuter.
Kathi came into the business, and I remember it so vividly about 2 months after I did, and I literally was like, who is this girl? Like, she was on a team call probably about a month into coaching. I don't even know. You hit like SC20 or something your first month as a coach. We were all like, where did Kathi come from? If you guys don't know her, she is an absolutely incredible leader. Your team is in the top 50 of the network right now, right? Yeah, you're muted.
Oh, no, not this year. Last year we were.
Okay, well, you probably will be. But Kathi right now is a 13-star combined diamond. So she is 10-star in her first business center, 2-star in her spouse business center, and 1-star in her third business center. So if you want to talk about somebody that knows the compound of consistency and the basics and true leadership, it's Kathi. She is also a 2-time elite coach and an SC10 legend for 38 months now. So I asked Kathi to come on and talk to us tonight about her inviting process, but also how really sticking to the basics in this business is what creates massive success. Because I think that it's funny, I heard something recently saying that like we kind of are overtrained. Like we have a million things thrown at us from different directions of what to do, what to get better at, what to change. And sometimes we can kind of get lost in the fluffy stuff. And one thing I really admire about Kathi is that she has her blinders on. She is no BS. She does not back down from goals. When she hits failures, she gets back up and she pushes harder, and she truly leads by example, not just for her challengers, but for her team. So I wanted her to hop on and share about how the basics have helped her create success and her actual inviting process. So take it away, Kathi.
Sweet. All right. Thanks, guys, for having me here. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am pumped to talk to you guys tonight because honestly, this whole topic and basically just mastering the mundane, mastering the vitals is definitely my strength. And it is the reason for such rapid growth in my business. And so tonight, I am going to be talking all about that with you guys. I'm going to be sharing some really awesome tips about how doing those basics, doing the vital behaviors every single day, consistency over time with your inviting, with doing those things on the business activity tracker, as well as some tips that will help you get over the fear of inviting, all those things combined, and how that can help you really take your business to the next level. Because people always ask me, they still ask me 3 years into this business now, like, how the heck did you move so fast? How did you build this business to a 6-figure income in under a year? I don't understand. What are you doing? And at first, when I answer people, I'm like, I really don't know what the heck I did. But then when I really sit back and I look at it, it's honestly every single thing on this business activity tracker. This is the new one, in case you guys don't know, there's a new one. And it sounds basic, and a lot of you guys might be like, oh my gosh, we're hearing about, inviting and the vital behaviors, and I already know all of this. But I can tell you right now, guys, you can become better, and you are going to learn from this. So take it all in and take some notes, and then whatever you learn, just make sure that you take it and apply it to your business. So I'm going to start out by just giving you 5 words right here. When I kind of, put it down into a nutshell of how I really took this thing to the next level so quickly, it'd be purpose, big vision, BAT for the business activity tracker, consistency, and action. Okay, that's kind of in a nutshell everything that I'm going to be going over tonight. I never really did anything special, guys. I literally just became a master of the vital behaviors. So tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys all about that. But first I want to start out with a question. So how many of you guys, just a show of hands, how many of you guys have had some kind of transformation because of Beachbody, whether it's, health and fitness, emotional, mental, financial? Yeah, me too. All right, awesome. So specifically when you start to feel that shift and you start to gain that confidence that you feel like you're on cloud 9, right? Especially in terms of your health and fitness. You want to share it with everybody. You just are more confident. You carry yourself, better and more prouder. You just stand up taller. Just everything about you is just a little bit better and a little bit brighter. And you can't help but tell people about what you're doing. You want to share it because you just feel awesome and you just want to help other people. This is the exact same way that this business works. And that's the way that you need to look at it. So if you don't like the word inviting when it comes to talking about the vitals, then you can always say the word sharing, that you're going to be sharing with other people. Think about, anything else that you use that is really helpful for you. So I always think about, I'm obsessed with dry shampoo because I hate washing my hair because it takes forever. And I've tried so many different ones. And finally I found one that I really love. And so now, I do like Instagram stories about it, and I tell people all about it when people ask about it. And all that jazz. It's the same exact thing with this business. You have to want to talk about it, right? But in order to be able to talk about it confidently, you have to be all in with these things, doing them consistently, all right? You have to be, when I'm going to be talking about inviting specifically tonight, because if I were to break down every single thing on that business activity tracker, it truly is inviting that builds this business. It is behind the scenes every single day, talking to people, building new relationships, getting to know people, being yourself, inviting them along on the journey. It is that piece that really did it. And when Dana said, I had my blinders on, I truly did. From day one, I never followed any of the successful coaches in the network or stalked their pages. I didn't really care what they were doing because I just knew that if I did these simple things on the business activity tracker, and if I did them day in and day out, that I would build a successful business. So I did that, and I had tons of training and was always on YouTube learning from them, but I never was like stalking them, reading their posts, because then it would just mess with my mind and I wouldn't be me and really share what I wanted to share. It wouldn't be authentic. So my life, guys, looks totally different now 3 years later. because of just mastering the vitals, mastering the mundane. And I did it really quickly. And the reason why is because I had a purpose, number one, behind what I was doing. When I first got into this, I had a 4-month-old and a 22-month-old. And I was home with them. I had stopped my teaching career to be with them. And I was going to have to leave them and go back to work and put them in daycare. I had all this credit card debt. It was ridiculous. It was like $35,000 worth. I was sinking like $1,000 negative every single month. Couldn't afford to do anything unless we swiped the credit card. I was overweight. It's just all these negative things. And I was going to have to go back to my teaching career. And to me, that was not okay. So that was just not something in my heart that I wanted to ever do. Once I had kids, I knew I wanted to be with them. So when I heard about coaching, that's why I went all in. I had that purpose, that really strong purpose for why this had to work. There couldn't be a plan B, there had to be a plan A. So ask yourself if you have purpose. This isn't just about, all right, I'm gonna go through the motions and I'm gonna invite and I'm gonna follow up and I'm gonna become an emerald and let's move to diamond. There's got to be more to it than that. Otherwise, you aren't going to make it through when the hurdles come your way, because they do. That's just life. So I had that purpose. I also had a big vision. So I want you guys to think that way too. I don't want you to think so short term. Think really, I tell my coaches, I always thought, even with this, down the road. I was thinking 2, 3, 5 years down the road. How do I want to see my life? How do I want to be living my life with my family? Where do I want to be? What are the things that I want to be able to do with them? The things that I'll be able to provide, if I could really picture my picture perfect day, what would it be like? So I had that big vision. I used the business activity tracker every single day. I took massive action and I was freaking consistent. Okay, so I'm going to kind of tie that all in together now. So I remember when I first got started, my coach told me how simple this business was and how just it's the most simplest business that you could ever get into. And it really is, guys. And that it's so simple. But what's difficult is you being self-disciplined enough to show up and do these simple things every single day. Because even though it's super simple, it's just as easy to skip it when you don't feel like it, right? It's easy to kind of let the excuses get in your mind and just push it off, push it off. So basically, guys, I started with making the decision that this had to work. So have you made the decision? Ask yourself that. Are you giving yourself a plan B? Is there a plan B there? Have you made that ideal decision that this has to work for you? Because that makes a huge difference in your outcome. And so I remember learning, if you just do these vital behaviors, and you probably hear Dana and your coach say to you all the time, if you just do these things, like I say it to my coaches too, guys, if you just do these things on this sheet every day for an extended period of time, you will build a business, right? But it's so hard to do those things without having that purpose behind what you're doing, having that meaning, and having an emotional attachment, and having that big crystal clear vision. Okay, so I listened to what my coach told me to do. I'm a very by the rule book type of person. When somebody tells me this is what's working, I'm successful, this is what you should do, I don't argue, I don't try to tweak it, I don't try to change it. I say to myself, okay, this person is super successful, this is the direction that I want to go in, they clearly know what they're doing, I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do. And I did that. And so you have to be teachable. And I was extremely teachable from day one in this business here. So I also want you guys to know too that you should not overthink inviting someone, that we are not asking for somebody's arm. We're not asking for somebody to put their life on the line. We are simply just asking them a question. We are giving them this gift that we have, and it's up to them with whether or not they want to join us or not. So I want to go over, guys, I feel like there are 2 pieces now to having success with your inviting. I really thought about it, and I've done calls on this too before for a lot of other teams in the network. And sometimes people always say, I just don't understand, I'm inviting, but nobody is saying yes, or nobody's coming to me. And when I laid it out on the line, there really are 2 components. And you can't have success with only one of them. It doesn't work unless you have both of these pieces. So I'm going to go over what those 2 pieces are really quickly. Number one, the first component is social media. And then the second component is going behind the scenes in private messages. So you have to be present on social media, all right? Present on social media every single day. You have to treat your wall as if you own a store, like Starbucks. I'm going to use that because I love coffee, okay? You can't not show up one day. If you owned Starbucks and you had a franchise here and you didn't really feel good or you were tired, you couldn't be like, you know what, screw it, I'm not going in today. They can just go to another coffee shop, whatever. I'll go in tomorrow. You would show up. And even though you didn't feel like it, you would still show up because this was your business and people were relying on you. And you know that if you didn't show up to your coffee shop, that they would go right across the street to Dunkin' Donuts, who is super reliable and is open every single day. And this is the same exact thing with your coaching business. People are going to sign up and go to the person who they know they can count on, who they know is reliable, who they know is consistent, who they know is going to show up every single day, no matter what. You don't want to come back and go to your coach and be like, oh man, I'm so pissed. I was talking to this girl for like so long, and then she went and she signed up with this other girl. And then we go and we look at your wall and we see that you don't even share anything. No one would even know that you were a coach. No one would even know that you own your own business. But you go to this other coach's wall and she's on it all day long, showing up, sharing the struggles, being vulnerable, sharing nuggets about her journey, sharing tips, just being really, just adding a lot of value every single day. So you need to have that piece there. And I always tell my coaches too, guys, you know, we always talk about you should be sharing multiple times on social media. And I know sometimes, you know, life gets in the way and it gets hard, and it does for me too. But you at least have to still show up every day, even if it's just once. You can't let a day go by where you don't show up, okay? Because then all of a sudden people will notice that, all right? You've got to be consistent with it. That is the key to this business. So now I see a lot of people who they are rocking their social media. Like if you were to go to their wall, you would swear to God that they were six-figure income earners and they were the, you know, top coach in the company. But they're missing this other key component. They're not behind the scenes, private messaging and inviting people and building relationships. They're not even hitting Success Club. They're not even building a business. They haven't budged in rank or even helped anybody. They're sharing and doing that piece, right? They're on social media. They're adding a ton of value. They're even getting a ton of likes. And from the outside looking in, you might think, wow, this person really has it together. I need to be more like them. But that's not always the case, guys, because I see a lot of coaches like that. The second key piece is being behind the scenes. You can't have one without the other. It doesn't work like that. You need to be behind the scenes every single day, talking to people, being a friend, really just listening, building relationships, putting Success Club and rank and commission and literally just off to the side. Somehow, since the day I started, I don't know how I do it, I have like a mental block. When I go behind the scenes, honestly, I don't even think about whether or not this person is going to sign up with me. I just love talking to people and I love building relationships. And that's the way that you have to think about it, as I'm making a new friend and I'm going to be myself. And whether they do or don't, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to be a friend to this person and help anyone and everyone no matter what. That's the way that you need to think. So you need to have two of those pieces, and here's why. If you're only behind the scenes, you might be, because I've seen this happen too, where people are behind the scenes and they're talking and they're inviting and they're following up and they're building relationships, but no one is biting. No one's joining them. But then you go to their wall and there's nothing on there except for like, I don't know, just, you know, you ever seen people like that? It's just like random weird stuff. It's because every time that you're talking to somebody behind the scenes about like, you should be, you know, join our team. It's awesome. It's so much fun. Or you should do this 21-day support group with us. Like the girls in my group are killing it. Like blah, blah, blah. They always go to your wall, guys. Doesn't matter how long they've known you for. They go to your wall because they want to see, like, let's see really what's up. She's inviting me to this. Let's see really what's going on in her life. And if they go there and they see nothing there, it's just not going to match up. They're going to think that you're just a salesperson, basically, and that you're really not in it to help them. You just want to make a sale, you want to earn an extra buck, and that you're not being authentic. So you need to have both of those pieces there. So that's the very first step, is to ask yourself, okay, number one, am I showing up on social media every single day and adding value? You have to be an adding value machine. Okay, you have to give, and be willing to give way more than you can ever imagine before you can take anything. And you have to be okay with that. And that's where patience comes in. So are you doing that piece? And then you also, behind the scenes, every single day, talking to people. Because it's the compound effect, if you guys have read that book. It's doing those two things over time that really do it for you. All right. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, holy crap, like I cannot invite. I'm so nervous. It just scares me. I just, every time I'm about to do it, you know, I get clammed up. My face turns red. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I just can't hit the send button. So what I want to do right now is I just want to kind of just go over 5 ways that can really kind of help you overcome your fear of inviting when you're behind the scenes there talking to people. All right. So the first one is, like I mentioned a couple seconds ago, is to just focus on building relationships. We're not talking about here going behind the scenes and spamming people. We're talking about, like, for example, when I connect with people and build relationships, I will check out what's going on in their life on their wall. I'll look at the different things that they're posting and sharing. And I will strike up a conversation with them behind the scenes about something that I saw them post. Just to kind of get a conversation going and to start to build a relationship. And I just focus on that. Focus on building a relationship, because that is the thing that will build trust. All right, that is the thing that will build trust. The second thing that you can do that can help you overcome your fear is change your wording. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, like I have to invite, say, okay, who can I share this with tonight? Instead of saying inviting, just say sharing. I need to share my excitement and share this opportunity and share this gift with other people every day. Who are going to be those 3 lucky ones, right, that I'm going to share this with? And just change that wording. I've had that help a lot of coaches on my team too. They just don't like the word inviting. It freaks them out. So they just use sharing, and that's fine. So whatever works for you, you just do you, and that's totally fine.
Kathi,
okay. Yep.
Can I touch on something you just said that I think is really important?
Yeah.
You said that it's who's going to get lucky that I write today. And I think that's such an important mentality to have, is like knowing and having the confidence in the value that you have to offer when you're going into your messages. Like, who's going to be the lucky one who's going to let me into your life today?
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. I mean, and I will touch on that too, like in a little bit here after I go over this, like things to kind of help yourself get ready once you actually sit down to do the inviting piece. But it's so true. You have to think that way. You can't think, I'll go over it later. I'm going to get sidetracked. Okay. So sharing instead of inviting, if that works for you, and really being okay with, you're going to get a crap ton of no's. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're not. I probably get like 50 no's a day. It doesn't even faze me. You have to be okay and know that that is part of this business, and that no means no, right, not right now. You have to be okay with knowing that this business honestly has way more to do with the other person and way less to do with you. Even though I know we're all here for a reason and we have huge goals and there's things that you want to achieve and you want to be able to do this full time or whatever it is that's lighting your fire, you have to be okay with knowing that, how can I serve and help other people first in order for me to be able to get what I want, to be able to help my family and live that life. And you have to be okay with that. And you grow a thick skin with the no's. And you know over time that the more no's you get just means that there's a yes right around the corner. And by being consistent with getting those no's, now it just means that when they are ready, they know who to go to. Versus if you didn't invite, there's some other coach who's being more consistent than you in the network who's going to send that person a message and is going to get to them before you do. And they're going to go to that person. So that's the way you need to think about it. All right. Talk to everyone and anyone. That's what I do. All right, the third step to get over the fear is to remember your purpose behind this business. Remember your purpose. It is not to hit Success Club. It is not to earn $50 this week in your paycheck. It is not, you can't think money-wise like that. Your purpose is to help people. And you need to go into these messages and get it in your mind that you truly are doing people a disservice if you don't message them. who are we to sit here and make that decision for other people? You know, it's not our job to sit here as a coach and say, you know what, I don't think, you know what, no, I'm not going to message Dana. She's probably going to say no. She's already in great shape. She doesn't need this, blah, 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 and rob them of this opportunity, because it can help them, and we know it can help them, and we know that we have what works. Our job as coaches is to present this to anybody and everybody, and then let it be up to them with whether or not they decide that this is the right fit for them or not. We're not doing our job if we don't share this with people. That's the way that you can think about it, okay? And if you can think about this as a full-time job, if you didn't do your job or the things that were required of you at your full-time job, you would be fired. They would no longer have you there. So if you need to think about this as a full-time job, what would you do? Would your boss promote you, or would your boss can you and get rid of you? That has helped a lot of coaches too in the past that I've spoken with. Okay, that is the mentality and the mindset that you need to have when you're behind the scenes. And that totally gets rid of your fear, right? Because who wants to lose their job, right? We need that job. The next thing is, there's only 4 things. I said 5, but there's only 4, guys. The next thing is to just bite the bullet and just do it and send the invite. And I always like to kind of think about it as, you know, like going off of a high dive. Number 1, I hate going off of high dives because I just get so nervous, you know, just going up the ladder. I'm the same way with roller coasters. As we're going up the hill so slowly, I get so much anxiety, but it's just like the high dive, right? If you've ever been on a high dive, who's been on one? Anybody? Nobody? Oh, just a couple people. Okay. Well, anyway, so imagine you're going up the high dive and you're climbing up the ladder and you get to the very top and you are about to step foot onto the board, which is like so bouncy, and now I'm worrying that it's slippery, I'm going to fall and whack my head, this is going to be the end of me. Like, these thoughts start to go. The negative thoughts start to already go in my mind. And then I slowly go to the end, and I stand there and I just look down. And I instantly think, oh my God, I can't do this. There is no way I can do this. It's too high. I'm going to hurt myself. What am I thinking? This is so not me. I'm so scared. I'm shaking. All these things start playing in my head. And then what do you do though? You're up there and you say, all right, I'm going to go on 3. And you're like, 1. Now, if you're like me, you don't really go on 3, but you go 1, 2, 3, and then you still stand there until finally you just go, and you like scream the whole way down. But then as you're going down, it's so much fun and you love it, and you're like, okay, it was scary, but that actually wasn't that bad. Let me do it again. And you do it again, and each time you do it, it gets more and more fun and easier, and you don't feel as scared. Each time you do it, you get a little bit more confident that you're not going to bang your head on the board. You're not going to fall off the end. You're not going to belly flop. It's going to be fun. You just jump off and go in. And that is the same thing with when you are getting ready to invite. You know, think of it that way. Just press it and go. The best way to boost your confidence and to become more competent in this is to just take action and to just go. Inaction will only breed fear for you guys. So the longer that you sit around thinking, I can't invite, I just can't do it, let me go do this, let me do that, I'll do this later, the harder it is going to be for you to be able to take action, okay? And make inviting fun. You know, I tell that to my team, make it fun. Like, don't make it seem like it's a chore and something that you have to do and this is so boring. Because, I mean, who really likes it, right? Nobody really loves it. So you have to find a way to make it fun, which is, I'll go over that in a little bit. When you guys start getting messages from people and start getting emails and start getting private messages and posts on your wall, that is when you know that it is all worth it. And that honestly is what will fuel your fire along the way and get you to keep going and get you to have that never stop mentality. It's honestly not like, like going all the way with this thing has nothing to do with how much you know. It honestly has everything to do with just having that attitude of I'm never giving up attitude. That's what it is. Okay, so those are some 4 ways that you can master the fear. So now you've mastered the fear, and now it is time to sit down and invite. Okay, now this is where it comes in really important here, and you have to kind of do you and do what works for you. But I know for myself, I do all my work at night. because I'm with the kids during the day. So number one, you got to have some kind of system in place to make this fun. And so you're excited so that people can feel this on the other end. So I always do a coffee or an Energize. Okay. I get that going. And I want to be confident. Okay. So I always, still to this day, I sit on the edge of my chair always. I actually still, I think I seriously still do, have like dents in my knees from when I was living back in Massachusetts, sitting up so close on the end of my bar stool, my knees would hit the island wall underneath me, and I would sit that way every day for until we moved, and I literally had little dents. So you need to be confident. So sitting up tall, shoulders back, put on some awesome pumped up music. I have a whole playlist that I do when I sit down to work to do my power hour. Sometimes if I really am not feeling it, what I'll do is I'll go and I'll listen to like Tony Robbins, or I'll put some kind of personal development on, something that's going to fire me up, Gary V, something like that for like 10, 15 minutes to get my mind right. Because the biggest problem is not having the mindset there when you sit down to go to talk to people. Like, you can't just go through the motions. Like, you really have to be there and be excited about this, because if you're not feeling it and you go to sit down and you're, the 5-second rule, that's a really good one too. It's so true. Like, if you're not feeling it and you're already putting all that negative stuff out into the atmosphere, it totally is going to come through on the other end, and people are going to feel it. And most likely that night, no one is going to write back to you, and you probably won't get anybody started on their health and fitness journey, and then you'll be discouraged, and it's going to be the spiral. Okay. So you have to put it out there that you are going to help people tonight. Who can I help? This is the gift I'm giving people. People need this. This has worked for me. It's worked for my team. I know this works. People need this in their life. They are missing out if they don't do this. That's the mentality that you need to have. Okay. The mindset is everything with this. Be bold and enthusiastic with your invite. So show excitement. So this is where I always tell people, like, when you are typing behind the scenes and you're having messages, you should sound the exact same way there as you would if I was sitting across the table from you right now. So if you go to read out loud what you were going to send to somebody, if it doesn't sound like you, then you should redo it, because it should sound like you. So I'm really enthusiastic and animated when I talk and get together in person, if you were to see me in person. So I talk with a lot of caps locks and, exclamation points and smiley faces, and, the tongue is sticking out and all these crazy things, because that's just how I am. So be you behind the scenes, because it has to sound like you. It has to sound like you. People shouldn't read a message and then if they were to meet you, be like, Jesus, she's totally different. I never imagined her to be like that in person. She's totally different behind the scenes when she's behind the computer. You have to be authentic. You have to be yourself, because you want to attract your people and your tribe to you. And the only way to do that is to just be yourself behind the scenes. Okay. Okay. Let me see here.
Kathi, I have to stop you for a second. For some reason, my Zoom is saying that there's 3 minutes and 47 seconds, and I don't know if it was because someone else was logged in when I started the call.
Oh,
but I don't know. I'm gonna make another call link and put it in the comments.
Okay.
And I'll send it to you too. I'll post it in the team page on the thing. So when this is up in 3 minutes, if we can just switch over to that, and hopefully
cool.
I don't know. Sorry, technically.
No, it doesn't matter. I have problems like that all the time.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Whoops-a-daisy. Hold on a minute. I just did something wrong. Okay. All right. So where was I? All right. If I can give you one piece of advice too, when it comes to the inviting and really being able to get that confidence up, if you really want to see momentum in your business, you have to be 100% all in with a fitness program. If you are not, then your business probably sucks right now, because that is exactly what happens. You cannot be, and it's happened to me plenty of times. Trust me. I am queen of going on and off and on and off. But I can share with you and be honest and tell you, because I'm trying to help you, that when I do go off, my business levels out. When I go back on and I'm 100% in, my business booms and skyrockets. And it's because I'm all in. I'm not just, I'm doing this workout this day, and then maybe I'll do a workout this day, and then, you know, I'm going to kind of follow the nutrition plan, but then Thursday night I'm going out with my mom, so I'm going to get mozzarella sticks. But then Monday I'll start again, I promise, and not really seeing any results, all right? People can tell if you're in and out of a program or not really committed to one, because you're probably not sharing about it consistently every day on your wall on social media. Okay, so best advice to really kick things into the right direction is to pick a program, pick a start date, and it doesn't matter, guys. There's always going to be cookouts. There's always going to be barbecues. There's always going to be weddings, retreats, people coming over to visit. That is just life. Pick a start date, start it, and then go from it from front to end and share little nuggets about your journey every single day on social media so people can learn about it and you can create a following by doing that. All right. Any questions so far on anything I've gone over? No. Okay. The next thing that I did to really help me with the inviting was I always work off of a running list of people. So I keep a list of people who like or comment on all of my photos. And this is something I've done since the very beginning. So even if I am posting a picture of my daughter going to her first day of preschool, I still write their name down, because if they're liking that post, that means that they are watching every other post that I'm putting up, whether they like it or comment on it or not. Okay. This thing is going to leave. So I'll see you in a second.
I was able to get in the system and upgrade it. So
my God, good job, Dana. That was quick. I almost just like totally pieced out.
So you're good. Talk away.
I'm like, leave meeting, click. Oh my God. All right, where was I? I keep losing my train of thought. Oh, I need another sip of this. I'm so dehydrated. Don't worry, the Energizer.
I don't know why that wasn't distracting or anything. So
yeah, I know. It's okay. I'm used to being distracted and doing like 100 things at once. All right, so keeping a running list of those people. And the reason why is because these are people now who you can connect with behind the scenes, not to spam about Beachbody and to get them to go into your group or to become a coach, but for people who you can start just chatting with. The more people that you can start talking to behind the scenes, the more likely they're going to watch you, the more they're going to consider you reliable and trustworthy, and then the more likely that they are going to eventually, when the time is right for them, decide to sign up with you for whether it's the business or for their health and fitness journey. People won't just, and especially at the beginning, because I became a diamond coach in 11 days, and people asked me, how the hell did you do that? And it was because I was literally just behind the scenes talking to people every single step of the way like this. I was sharing where I was at. I had 35 pounds that I had to lose. Could not get rid of it. And I always hear coaches say, I don't want to start the business yet because I don't look like I'm in great shape. I haven't reached my goals yet. I want to have something to show. And I always tell you that I think personally that is the biggest mistake that you can make, because I truly believe and know firsthand, I'm living proof of it, that you are way more relatable and can bring way more people along with you on your journey when you are just starting out versus waiting to get results. I honestly think I really think it's the worst thing that you can do. So when I first started this, like I said, I was 35 pounds overweight. I felt like crap. I even, guys, had people in my family tell me, no one is ever going to sign up with you. You do not even look like a health and fitness coach. No one is ever going to want to go with you. And I just kept my head down and basically just stayed away. And I invited people along with me on this journey. That's the key there. Are you inviting people along the journey to do this with you? So when I was behind the scenes talking to people, like as I was making my list of people all the time, I wasn't just like saying, you should do this. I was honest and I said, hey, listen, so I cannot get rid of this 35 pounds after having both my kids. I'm sick and tired of just falling into the status quo of how, once you have kids, you can't get your body back and all that jazz. And I decided enough was enough. So I'm starting with this new 21-day program. I know it's going to freaking work. And I have a long way to go. And I know it's not going to happen, but I'm just like overnight, but I'm looking for people who want to do it with me because I need extra support. Would this be something you'd be interested in hearing more about, possibly doing it with me? That's exactly how I started out. And that is why I got so many people signed up, guys, right at the beginning and became a diamond coach right off the bat, was because I was being honest about that. And people liked that. I was relatable. Moms could relate to me and to my story and to my journey, and they appreciated the fact that I was being honest and upfront with them, and vulnerable with them about that. They liked seeing my, where I was, and then progressing along the journey with me. And then, because people don't come to you guys, like at the beginning, people won't just come to you and be like, sign me up. You have to go to them. And that's another reason why keeping that running list of people to work off of all the time is so important. Keeping that list, constantly building relationships, constantly talking about what's going on in their life. And then if you keep up with the social media piece and you've got the social media piece nailed down and you're inviting behind the scenes and talking to people, over time, they will come to you. And you'll be able to have people come to you guys every month, and you'll be able to hit Success Club and help 3 to 5 people without you actually having to go behind the scenes and seek them out. People will start to come to you, but it doesn't happen overnight. It took me like about 15 months of me showing up on social media every day and inviting behind the scenes before that started to happen for me in my business. Okay. So just being honest. So that's how long-term of a vision that you need to have in this business here. Okay. Let's see here. Also too, another reason why people won't come to you, and I really I understood this from the beginning because I saw how out of shape I was. And I know that if somebody ever posted on their wall, like, do this challenge, comment below, whatever, I'd be like, no way. I'm way too embarrassed. I don't want anybody to know that I need help. I'm totally fine. But it's true, guys. People, you need to go to them because people are nervous. They don't know where to start. They've tried so many different things and none of it has worked, or they've stopped and they've failed along the way, and they honestly believe that they're stuck and that nothing they can do will get them out of this funk. And so they're scared to actually come to you. So this is where your job as a coach comes in, where you need to, this is why your job as a coach is so critical and so important. You need to be that person to go to them and to reassure them that, listen, you can do this. You're going to do this. I'm here to help you. We have support from our accountability group. We're going to get through this. We're going to do it day by day, and you can do this. You have someone here helping you. You don't have to do this alone. All right, that makes them feel so much better. They just don't know where to start. So that's why I always tell my teams, and I feel like this is on the low end, guys, like 3 to 5 invites a day to people is what I tell my team. Obviously, to earn 6 figures in under a year, guys, let's be real. You're not going to just be doing 3 invites a day, okay? I mean, whatever my coach told me to do, whatever was on this business activity tracker, I like 10 times it, okay, and did that every day. And the beauty of this business is that you don't need to do what I did. You don't need to do what Dana did. You don't have to talk to as many people as I do. But what I'm going to challenge you guys to do is don't be that person who just does exactly what is told. If you really want to excel and be excellent at this, just kick it up a notch. I'm not saying sit down and do 30 invites a day. I'm saying if you're supposed to be doing 3 to 5, do 8. Just a little bit more. If you can do that, you will always be ahead of the average person. Just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you guys to do that. And you can grow this thing as fast or as slow as you want. So you can talk to as many people as you want to, or as little people. It really depends on what your goals are. For me, I kind of, like I said at the beginning, I really was in a state of desperation and my back was against the wall. And it was, you either make this thing work or you're going back to teach. And I was like, no way. So I didn't have time to dilly-dally and see, like, let me see if this is going to work. I'm going to just try it out and hope and pray. It was like, this is freaking working. I'm going all the way with this damn thing. So making that decision truly does help. And honestly too, guys, like being behind the scenes, once I started doing, and this is going to help you out too, if you guys have had results, which I'm sure you all have from doing the program, you know that what we have works. Like when I started doing the 21-day fix and I started drinking Shakeology and I started losing weight and getting more confidence and having more energy, I literally was like, holy crap. Every single person I come in contact with needs to do this. Every mother needs to do this. Because for so long, I thought I could never get back to where I was. And I thought I was just going to feel like crap forever once I had kids. And it was so not true. So that confidence will be boosted when you complete those programs. And that's what will make you be unstoppable, because we know that what we have works. And you can feel good about it, guys. You can feel good about going behind the scenes and talking to people about this, because number one, this is not a like gimmick. This is not a wrap. This is not a freaking tea. This isn't a patch or pill or any of that stuff that you might see that like proves to work. This is real. This is a nutrition plan that you follow with real food that allows you to eat every food group. This is a program that you do, a workout program that you do every day. This is a superfood shake that you drink with the help of a personal coach, you guys, that's you. And the support from an online accountability group. That whole piece works if the person commits. So, and you know that because it's worked for you and it's worked for so many of our other challengers. So when you're behind the scenes talking to people, think that way. This person needs this because this works, and I know it works, and I want them to see that it works. Okay. So if you stripped it all down, guys, it is the inviting. It is behind the scenes. You may be distracted with shiny objects. Really staying focused when, yes, belief. Exactly. That is the key. Belief is another one of my jams. I had the belief since day one. Like, you have to have that belief, guys, when you're sitting down doing your work every single day. You really do, because going and talking to people, I mean, you could talk to people all day long till you're blue in the face, but if you don't have belief, it's going to do nothing for you in your business. You have to know that you're going to make it without a shadow of a doubt, no matter how many no's, no matter how many times, coaches below you quit, no matter if you lose diamonds, whatever. You have to know that you're going all the way without them and that you don't need them to make it there. Okay. So consistency over time, guys, with all that. So how it really affected my business. So from the beginning, so I got in, you heard where I was at the beginning. I had all that debt, $35,000 worth of debt. I was sinking by $1,000. We had no savings account. I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning. We depleted our entire savings account because we were living off of one income for so long, so I could be home with the kids. So because I stayed consistent, guys, with literally these simple vital behaviors and inviting, talking to people every day, by 7 months in, what I was earning matched my teacher salary after 10 years of the master's, which was pretty significant. In just under a year, I was a six-figure earner. And then by month 15, I had all the debt paid off and have been debt-free ever since. And I've been able to just kind of check things off my vision board, which took time and took work and dedication and sacrifice. It was not easy. Otherwise, everybody would be freaking doing it. But it was so rewarding and it was so worth it. And I was able to sell my house in Massachusetts and just move down here to my dream home here, right by the beach in Florida, right near Dana, not too far away, which we just did that like 6 weeks ago, guys. So honestly, like, you need to know that you can do this too. You truly can do this too. And before I let you guys go, I'm going to just do this really quickly. I just have 4 phrases. I should have said this earlier, but it's at the bottom of my page. I don't know why. I just have 4 phrases that I use to kind of help transition people when they're talking about how to invite. Like, some people are like, but I don't know how to start it. Like, I don't exactly know what I should say now. Like, I've been talking to them and I've been building this relationship. How do I go into it? So I just have 4 phrases that I use and I've been using for a long time. Number 1 is, oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you. Or, oh, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you. I do that every day. After building a relationship with people, I will say to them the next day, after talking to them, obviously, for a good handful of times and actually built the relationship. Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you the other day, we have this awesome 21-day support group kicking off in 2 weeks. It's so much fun. It's what helped me lose 35 pounds and get rid of all the baby weight. It's awesome. Does this sound like something that you'd like to hear more about? Or something like that. So that's a good thing to say. The second phrase is, if I blank, you'd fill it in, would you blank? So for example, if I'm talking to somebody and I really think that they would be a really good coach, like you want to talk to somebody about coaching, you think they'd be a really good coach. What I say to them is, hey, listen, if I sent you a recording of my live webinar about coaching and about what this entails, would you take the time to sit down and listen to it? Or if I plugged you into, or if I invited you to my coach sneak peek this Sunday from 8 to 9, would you be willing to check it out and just be a fly on the wall? Like just saying those things. And I do this every day, like every single day religiously. You could even use it for a health and fitness program. If I sent you this video of Shift Shop so you can check it out and what it entails, would you take the time to watch it to see if it might be a good fit for you to be in our group? Whatever. You can really use it for anything, guys. Okay. The next one, the third one, is really more for overcoming objections. You know, you have people say, like, I can't do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm not motivated, all this other stuff. You know, you hear all the same objections over and over again. Is to do feel, felt, found. Okay, I always do that. The best thing that you can do when somebody comes at you with an objection, and I hear it all the time, people will say to me, you know what, I just don't think I have the time. You never just sit there and be like, okay, maybe next month. No way. Relate it back to yourself. What I say is, listen, I completely know what you mean. I know exactly how you feel because I felt the exact same way 3 years ago before I started to do this. I had a 4-month-old and a 22-month-old. I was nursing around the clock all night. I wasn't getting any sleep. I was not motivated. I didn't think I had any time to do anything. But what I found was that if I just would bring my daughter down in her bouncy seat while Landon took his nap, I could press play for 30 minutes, and she actually had a great time watching me. And it was only 30 minutes. And I kind of laid on the line because people have it in their mind too that they think that this is going to be like hours and hours of workouts. And it's like, it's only 30 minutes. You can totally do this. And so I would just say that. I didn't think I had 30 minutes, but honestly, sometimes like kind of doing a little bit of a reverse psychology, like by saying, you know, honestly, I didn't think I had the time either. But now that I have kids, I realize just how important it is to be able to lead by example and put some time into me so that I feel good, so I can be a better mom. You should try it so you could see it's amazing and you're going to love it. That kind of thing. So feel, felt, found. Never just like shoot out facts and just things like that people can just go Google themselves, because people are signing up with you for a reason. They're not even buying Shakeology. They're not buying All Access. They're buying you. You have something that they are intrigued by or that attracts them to you, and they want to be involved in that. Okay. Oh, cool. And the last thing is when people say to you, oh, you know, is it similar to, you hear this all the time. People talk about Herbalife, or they'll talk about, you know, just all these other things, all these other shakes. And, you know, they'll say, is it like this? Or, well, I'm doing this shake right now. And how does it compare? And whatever you do, again, like I'm saying, the best way to answer that is to say, well, I don't know about Herbalife, but all I know is that Shakeology has got me to help me lose 35 pounds after having my babies, and has helped me regain energy, and has kept my cravings down, and has made me feel healthier than I've ever been before. And if I miss a day, I feel like crap. I'm lethargic. I want to take a nap. I'm munching on stuff out of the cabinet all night long. It's a shit show, okay? So if I'm drinking it every single day, I don't have those problems. So I don't know about Herbalife, but all I know is that I haven't missed a day of Shakeology in 3 years. So it works so much better if you say that. I don't know about that. All but I know is, for whatever it is that they shout out to you, the worst thing that you can do is give them all these facts from Shakeology, and you know, it's just anything that they can Google, just stay away from. Okay? Speak to it about yourself and how you can relate to it. Yeah, exactly. Personalize everything as much as possible. So you guys can do this too. I am no different than you guys. I have no special talent. I've just mastered the mundane. I listened to my coach. I said, do the vitals, do the fundamentals, master them, do them every day. I never get, I don't scroll Facebook. I don't have side conversations for extended periods of time with coaches in the network and waste time. I'm here to build a business, and I get to work, and I'm serious about it. And that's why I've gotten business-like results from it. So you guys can do this too. You are no different than me. We believe in you guys. You just have to make the decision to do it and then just follow through every day like that and start small. Just start small. This is truly a business of slow and steady wins the race. This is not, let's go crazy and kill myself for 3 to 5 months and then quit. Okay. Just slow and steady. And yes, I am on Instagram. But I actually didn't start using Instagram until like, I don't know. I didn't use it right away. I built my entire business to 6 figures in 1 year, all off my personal page, behind the scenes. Honestly, I wasn't even that great about posting on social media. I do it like once a day. I never like did the 3 times a day right away, but I was so behind the scenes and so authentic about it. That's how I brought people in. And I also would just tell people like if they said they couldn't do it, just being bold, I'd be like, no, like you need this in your life. You need this. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. So anyways, thanks guys for listening. Don't know if anybody has any last minute questions or anything.
Kathi, you killed it.
Killed it.
I have a couple things that I would love if you would elaborate on, because I feel like there are things that are kind of common struggles or common questions.
Yep.
That I feel like people might benefit from hearing from you.
Yeah, sure.
But, what is let's say your number one advice for a brand new coach?
Oh my God. Okay. So best advice that I can give you to a brand new coach, and I'm going to tell you the same exact thing that I tell my brand new coaches, is number one, you need to get results. So you need to be all in. So whereas I started with a 21-day fix in Shakeology, I was all in. Yes, granted, I did start building a business right off the bat, but I was getting results. I was all in. You have to be all in. Commitment, 150%. Sharing little nuggets about it every day, and focusing on your coach basics. Whatever it is that you have for your coach training, new coach training, being in it, being engaged in it, being a sponge, and then applying it and taking action with it every single day. It's really those 2 key things at the very, very beginning, because I do have some coaches that come on and they want to build a business right off the bat, but they never really give it 150% with their fitness program. They never really, it's kind of like one toe in, one toe out. And so you can't make the business work without getting those results first and foremost. So,
well, I feel like with that is what we said about the belief. It's like that deepens your belief and your purpose, and that like your confidence is boosted tenfold, and you can't help but want to pour that into other people.
It's so true.
Okay. The next thing I wanted to ask you is with like prioritizing your time. Because as a busy mom, and as a wife, obviously, it's pretty common that people struggle to kind of prioritize and have life balance. So, I just wanted to say, like, do you have a top tip of how you've prioritized your business time and how you've kind of, in the beginning, made it okay with Nick that you were going to be making some sacrifices of time, so that it didn't become something that was like a rift or an issue?
Yeah. So, well, honestly, I mean, the truth of the matter is, because we had such huge goals from the beginning, like I needed to be earning like a substantial amount of income. This wasn't just a hobby. Obviously, things need to be a little out of balance for a little bit of time. You just have to be okay with being imbalanced for a little bit. But I can say that luckily, even though Nick was the biggest skeptic I've ever met in the past 3 years of doing, I mean, he literally was like, this is the stupidest thing you could ever do. What the hell are you thinking? You might as well just go to a casino and gamble your freaking money away. This is so dumb. We don't even have money for Shakeology. What are you talking about? But we decided to do it anyways, and I had to prove him wrong. So that was another reason why, because I don't like to be wrong. I like to be right. That's a big flaw of mine. But the good thing about Nick is that he has his MBA in entrepreneurship, and he's owned 4 businesses before on the side, which, by the way, none of them were ever as successful as Beachbody. Just saying. But he knew what it took to build a business, and he knew that with that would come temporary sacrifices. Like, you got to be okay with that. Check out Scotty Hobbs's video, Sacrifices. That's the video I watched when I was like 6 weeks in as a coach, where I watched it with Nick, the light bulb went on, and I was like, we got to go pedal to the metal here if we want to see some significant change in our life. And so he was okay with knowing that we weren't going to be sitting down watching Homeland and The Walking Dead every night anymore, and that we were going to have to find just one night a week that was going to be our date night for us, whether we just stayed in or we went out. And during the week at night, I had to build my business, because during the day I was with my kids, and I wasn't going to be doing this during the day and not acknowledging them when I quit my teaching. After going through all those damn teacher tests and all that crap and all that schooling, I wasn't going to just ignore them. So I had to do this at night. So he was okay with that. So my best advice is to definitely make sure that you are sitting down with your significant other and coming up with a plan of what is going to fit into your schedule. Maybe you only do 30 minutes at night, or maybe it's just an hour. Maybe you can do a little bit in the morning. I don't know. But you got to both be on the same page. But you have to also be willing to know that if you want anything in your life to change, guys, like, you got to do something a little different. You got to be okay with temporary sacrifice. Otherwise, you're going to be in the same place on this call a year from now. Nothing's going to have changed. So you got to be okay with that, making those temporary sacrifices. And notice the word temporary. You know, it doesn't have to be like that forever, but temporary sacrifices is the key.
I love that. And I love that you said that you have to understand and be okay with the fact that things are going to be out of balance for a little while.
Yeah.
I think that it's like that sweet spot of, I want the balance. I want the balance. And it's kind of the realization of like, it's going to be out of balance for a while. And you have to be okay with that and know that it is going to pay off and be worth it.
I know, it's so bad, because it's like, when I hear that, I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no such freaking thing as balance. If you really want this thing to go, like, if you want to make 6 figures with this thing, like, you're going to be out of balance for a little bit, but it's so friggin' worth it, guys.
And then you have to find a new balance to juggle it. Yes.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Your best tip for when somebody hits a failure to bounce back quickly.
Jesus. So many failures I hit along the way. So many failures and bumps along the road. The best advice that I can give you is, number one, expect the failures before they even happen. So just put it in your mind that you're going to trip, you're going to fall flat on your face, and you're going to have doubts, and you're going to question yourself. Know that it's already going to happen before it's happened, but also know that no matter what, you're not going to give up. And when it happens, because trust me, I went through like a 10-month slump. I swear most coaches would have quit. I know most coaches would have quit. As hard as it was, I dove into personal development. I said to myself, I am in this for life. So it does not matter how hard I fall. It does not matter what hurdles I hit. I am going to find a way to get through this. And this is not really a failure. This is honestly a learning moment for me. And I'm going to be able to take this information and now teach it to someone. Whether you only have one coach on the team or you have a huge team, you'll be able to teach them. And when you come out of those failures, if you want to call them failures or those slumps, you come out truly stronger and a better coach and a better leader. So like when I got into this, I knew that I was going to mess up, and then it wasn't going to be sunshine and rainbows. I mean, that's why they have the book called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, for God's sakes. It truly is a roller coaster. So you have to know it's going to happen, but it's okay. You're going to get through it. And yeah, that's part of the learning process.
I love that. I totally agree. And if I can add, I know for me, it has to be what you mentioned earlier, and that's that clarity of that vision, because no matter how much something sucks or you struggle or you feel like you've failed to a point of beyond return, if you have that vision that's clear enough, you can always bring yourself back to that and get grounded and be like, all right, I'm ready to go again.
Exactly.
I think that's all for my questions. I don't want to keep you forever. Does anybody have questions for Kathi that they want to ask her while we have her?
It was called Sacrifices. Was the name of was the name of the video for Scotty Hobbs. It was Sacrifices. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, help more people.
Thank you so much, Kathi.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad you guys liked it.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
You know what's weird? I go back and I watch videos of myself too all the time because I always watch myself. My husband always makes fun of me. He's like, "You're watching a video of yourself?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I want to see like where I look like ridiculous so I can improve, where I can like become better." I'm like, that's another key trait of someone who's going to be successful. You have to be willing to take constructive criticism and become better.
Oh, Kathi, there was one more thing that I noted that I wanted you to elaborate on. And that is, well, you've obviously achieved ridiculously incredible success. And I really wanted to just nail it in that it was about the basics, and you did that so well. But I wanted to kind of break it down and give people a bird's eye view of like, what were your actual benchmark monthly goals that you set non-negotiable for yourself that have gotten you to where you are, like S10 minimum or how many new coaches a month? Because I think that it's important to have that baseline idea of what you have to shoot for and work towards, and the actions it takes to actually make that happen.
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys, and this is where a lot of people because I never candy coat anything, because I really do want everybody to have success with this and be able to take this thing where you need to take it or where you want to take it. But this is where so many coaches like mess up. And it's with the fact that they have these big goals and these visions of how they want their life to be, but they never build their own team. They hit Success Club. But Success Club is not going to build you a 6-figure income earning business. It won't. Even if you're hitting Success Club 10, it won't. Even if you're hitting Success Club 20, it won't. The only way that you can really make it big with this is if you are doing a combination of both hitting Success Club and bring on business building coaches every single month. So when I first started, I knew my coach had said to me, just like I tell all my coaches, if you're in this for a hobby, then Success Club 5 is fine. But if you're really looking to do more at this and you have bigger visions and aspirations for your life, then you need to hit Success Club 10 every single month, non-negotiable, no matter what, doesn't matter what it takes, you can't miss it. So I said, well, Success Club 10 it is then, every single month. I knew in the back of my mind, and I would put that pressure on myself, like this has to happen. Granted, I was hitting really high numbers when I first started. For the first like 6-7 months, I was hitting like SC40, SC50, SC whatever. It was insane. But I always made it Success Club 10. But what I was also doing from literally the first month of coaching was I started out small. I started out by saying, okay, this month I'm going to find one person who wants to be a coach on my team. Okay, I'm going to find one person. I started doing that like for the first few months of coaching. Like, all right, I'm going to hit Success Club 10 and I'm going to bring on an active coach, and I'm going to help them and teach them how to hit Success Club and how to build a business and teach them to do what I did basically. And then as time went on, I just increased that number of active coaches every single month. At this point, and honestly, if you've been doing this for a while, like you got to be bringing in at least 4 to 5 active coaches every single month if you want to build a big business with this. And you got to be okay with like the waiting game of bringing them on, helping them get started, knowing that, some of them might quit, some of them might not do anything. It's okay. But that's where like the numbers game kind of comes in. Like, I mean, last month I had 8 active coaches on the team, and 3 of them, I think, or maybe 4 of them I don't know, they just decided it wasn't for them. So start small, like if you're a brand new coach, but just know that you could be here a year or 2 years from now hitting Success Club 10 and just, you're not going to build like a business that leads to residual income where you can allow this to be your full-time income that will allow you any kind of lifetime of freedom. And if you're not here for that and you're just in this for a hobby, then that's fine. But if you are someone like me who this had to work, this has to be like a full-time career for me, then you're going to want to aim for that goal. Just raise the bar a little bit higher. And with that, I just want to say one last thing. What comes with that is whatever you post about on social media, like I tell my team, is what you're going to attract. So if you're looking to build your team, like you have to be sharing components every single day about coaching and why it's awesome and why it's so fun. People don't care, guys, about the income you make. All right, I want to tell you that. you don't want to be talking and bragging about income, because you're going to just attract these people to you and to your team who think it's going to happen quick, and they're going to be all about the money. And it doesn't work long term for people in this business if you're here only for the money. You have to be about the people. So it doesn't matter if you're a brand new coach and you haven't even had a paycheck yet. People are way more drawn to and attracted to the person who shows up on social media with a huge smile on their face, where they're always happy and they're excited and they have confidence. That is what people are attracted to, and that is what people want to be a part of. So don't be thinking like, oh, damn, I haven't even made a paycheck. I got to earn 6 figures. It doesn't matter. I was successful right at the beginning too, and I did not have big goals. I did not think I was going to be a 6-figure income earner. I wanted $200, a couple $100 every week. That was it. But I was confident online. I was happy. I was excited. When I was behind the scenes, I was like, you got to do this. This is awesome. You're going to love it. Da, da, da. You know, like the motivator. And people were drawn to that. So that's all you got to be. You don't have to be rolling in any kind of money. Trust me.
I love it. The energy you put out is what you get back, for sure.
It really is. So true.
Thank you, Kathi.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry if this went a little bit longer, but Dana told you that I like to talk.
I'm not sorry. That was perfect. Does anybody else have questions? I don't even think we've had any questions except me, but.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I guess that just means you nailed it.
You know, I'm just going to say,
You're
you know,
speechless.
I freaking nailed this call, Dana. No questions. Sweet.
Alrighty.
All right, cool,
Nobody
guys.
has any questions. I'm going to unmute everybody, and we are all going to say thank you to Miss Kathi for her time and for sharing all her truth bombs and knowledge with us tonight. So hopefully this is a little kick in the pants and a fire lit for you chasing all that you desire to do in the business. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Kathi. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Kathi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to work on being synchronized.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.